He was born November, died November. Yeah.
And then this, see, would be their child.
This would be the granddaughter of William then.
Well, let's see. Would that be their child?
No,
No.
she died a day before her birthday.
Yeah, I imagine this was an Evans child. Would you think? Yeah. And that was probably an Evans, or that might have been the wife. Let's see, Bessie Evans Harrington and John A. Evans. So I imagine they're brothers and sisters. I don't know that, but I'm just surmising that they were.
A lot of age difference, though, if you look at it, 25
Bess
years.
Evans Harrington. So she was an Evans, no doubt, and married a Harrington, would you think? Yeah.
Well,
Married a Thompson, more likely. So she probably was a Trotter too.
and she just died a couple years ago.
And Evans, no, this
19.
is the daughter of this Trotter. And this more than likely was her husband, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Now there's a sister. There's a sister to Elizabeth Trotter buried here too.
William B. Trotter's grave right there.
Now some of the Trotters married Terrell,
wife.
T-E-R-R-A-L, and they're buried here.
Over here?
Well, you know, Boone's husband was Terrell.
William B.'s grave, wife, Elizabeth. Small plaque right there is their daughter. Died at 8 years old. This is Alice W. Trotter, married to Evans. Mother.
Richard, wait a minute, Dad. Here's her husband. Here's her husband right here. I'm a very
Annapet, Greg, Hello, Will, Dick, Buzz,
Are you all
Chester,
just
Matthew.
enjoying a good day out in the sun?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
That's good. That's good.
And I just want them to turn that radio down. The old family cemetery. Kids out there running around. We'll go look at the old graveyard.
Wait a minute. Liberty Church used to sit right over here.
Liberty Church?
Liberty Church. Over here. South of it, just inside of that fence. But these trees have come up since that church has been here.
Did the other church replace it?
No, that was, no, that
Mount Olive up there.
you saw that church come,
Yes.
near the cemetery.
That's what I figured, that was Mount Olive was a new.
Here's the gate, Daddy.
Huh?
Here's the gate.
Where's the grave?
This was Liberty Church, and it was the church used in this area prior to the Langsdale Church.
So what we're looking at right over here is a graveyard. You'd call it the Lincoln
Have
Graveyard?
you ever heard of Uncle Sandy?
Liberty Graveyard.
Liberty Graveyard, that's what
Yeah.
this would be called?
Yes, I believe so.
Have
That
you ever
right,
heard of
Lee?
Uncle Sandy?
Yes,
He
Lord.
was right by our house and forgot.
Who, Uncle Sandy did?
That was Sandy Trotter.
But that wasn't the worst one. Say the night they got married, he took her to Meridian. And the
Who is
next
this,
morning, he
Sandy
got
Trotter?
up out of bed. He said, "What are you doing here?"
I am heard
Now,
that.
what's his real name?
What was Uncle? What
He
was Uncle
was
Sandy?
Alexander Pickens Trotter.
Right. Oh, that's the son of
Yes,
Alex.
the son of Alexander Trotter.
I've read about him.
But he was.
Did you hear that, Barbara? That's what they just talked about.
You got one like it?
Colonel Lang is the one who built it.
Listen.
I've been in that house.
Yeah, she's seen it. Yeah.
Colonel Lang built what?
Nobody know where the Trotter plantation was.
No.
That must have been in Toxin. Must
I
have
don't
been in
think
Alabama.
so. I think it was down closer to
Oh,
Rudolph.
wait a minute.
That's where you said Grandpa was born.
Alexander Trotter lived near Shibuda in Quitman. So they probably had a plantation down there. I have no idea where it was.
Of course, it was easy to obtain a plantation back then because nobody lived anywhere.
Yeah,
I have some information from the records, but I haven't
Maybe
really
the
researched it, but
land
there was
records.
a lot of land down in the Shabuta area that was
Yeah.
owned by Trotter.
Well, that was probably it because I know this Grand Alec here lived there. Well, his father lived here. General Alexander lived down here. And when he died, maybe his wife died too. I don't know. William B. took the children.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. So, but they were living down in here till they moved to him in Quitman. So I don't. If there, any other. That's the only clue I have to a plantation.
There was in Joanne Davis's history after the Civil War. You know, part of them were her ancestors were in Texas because there wasn't any way to make them any living here, but they couldn't buy anything out there. They had money, but there wasn't anything to buy. So they sent here and had the plantation house torn down and moved it to Texas. And she's been trying to document where it was.
See, well, I don't know how we'd find it out unless the land record would
I
show.
think if I
Maybe
could.
Hill Brewer, William Henry Brewer.
This is all in the old church graveyard. Different families, brewers.
That was permanent.
63, that's it. Daddy's brother.
outlived your mama 17 years.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Daddy's daddy died in 35. His daddy died in 63.
So the Trotter
He's
tree line is a
6
little
years
bit
older than Daddy.
They're alive.
Yeah. Well, my mother had cancer of the throat before. She was 69.
63? What time were you in 63, you know?
I ain't tell her. She's buried right here.
Of mother and father Lee Trotter. This lady, Laura, was Francis Trotter's aunt. She's the sister of Will Trotter. This is her husband. This is Leotis Lee Trotter. Who'd you say this was, Uncle Lee? Who's this right here?
This is your, let's see. That Alec Trotter is your great-granddaddy, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that I think is
Great uncle then.
No, this is
I mean the sister to him?
his wife's daddy.
Who is that? Papa? I mean,
Okay.
Israel L. Pickens. Well, that's where my name came from.
I have to come look over here. Pickens is one of the other ones now. The broken shoe.
Move over. Move, Daddy. Let me see the grave. Daddy, let me see it.
That's your grandfather there. That's his mother.
Get behind it.
Get behind it.
Yeah.
Well, but wouldn't that still be relevant?
This is the grave of my great-grandfather. This is Alexander Trotter, which is the daddy of Willie Love Trotter, who was the daddy of my dad, Francis Trotter.
Y'all move, baby.
Move, Oakley.
Y'all just let him tell you what he just told me, and then y'all stand in front of this and let him tell you.
All right, what this grave right here, who's this?
This is Alexander Trotter, our grandfather.
Okay.
Three of them.
And that's Mr. Lee Trotter,
And Chester Mathers and
Francis
Look,
Trotter.
No,
I'll wait for him to say something. Now that right there is y'all's grandfather, right?
that's right.
All right, and
And grandmother.
showed he was born in 1840 and died in 1928.
That's correct.
All right, the grave next to it.
That's Matilda Pickens, is it not?
Matilda
Matilda.
Pickens Trotter.
Move, Oakley.
Matilda Pickens Trotter, our grandmother.
And she was born in 1847 and died in 1920. Is that correct?
I thought it was 21, but maybe 20 is right.
20.
Yeah.
And that's your, all three of you gentlemen grandparents
Grandmother.
on the Trotter side. Okay.
Grandmother and grandfather, right?
Well, let me ask you, where exactly is all of this located? Where are we, right?
We are
Liberty.
Old Liberty Church site. I don't know.
Let's just call it Liberty Cemetery.
That's right.
Okay.
In Clarke County, Mississippi.
About how far out?
Close as we could get.
How close? How?
2 to 2.5 miles from Langsdale.
Langsdale. Okay. And which how far out of Quitman?
15 miles.
Lifted.
No, about
About
12
13
miles.
or 14.
12 miles.
All right. So in this graveyard, you got your grandparents,
Yeah, I'll take it.
and over in the back, what are these two graves back here?
Those are mine.
That's Mr. Lee's parents, Lee Trotter's parents. And
He was the youngest son of Alexander Hill and Matilda Pickens.
the youngest son, Israel Leotis Lee Trotter, and Laura P. Trotter. And Mr. Lee, that's where you got your name from, right?
I'm named Junior.
Your name, Junior?
Yeah.
All righty. What about over here?
This is your great-grandfather over here.
Who's great-grandfather?
All three of them.
Everybody in here.
That's your grandparents over.
He's either your great, or your great-great, or your great-great-great.
Oh, you want me in that too?
Tell them about the governor deal.
Or great.
Tell them about the governor deal.
Israel Leonard Pickens here, father, came from Virginia to Alabama and became the signer of the Constitution of Alabama when it became a state, and later became the second governor.
Third.
You sure? Anyway, and then he became United States Senator from Alabama for several terms.
Wait, not after his meet with governor? I thought he died 2 years later in Cuba.
So didn't you attend school?
This is y'all's great-grandfather,
Now
though.
this man's father,
What about this thing? It's open up
Israel Leonard Pickens' father was named Israel Pickens. His wife was named Martha Lenore Pickens. And they came from Virginia, North Carolina, to Alabama to open the state of Alabama. And he's signer of the Constitution of Alabama, and later governor, and later senator of Alabama.
Well, how old are you, Mr. Lee?
Me?
Yes, sir.
80.
Mr. Matthew?
And I'm 79.
FM?
74.
74.
Am I?
We got all the grandkids. These are grandkids, great-grandkids out here today.
Billy was one of his former classmates. Well, your daddy only lived 7 years after he died.
Look,
Yeah.
why don't you little old bitty youngin, get over there behind this right here and get
It's our great-grandfather. Your sons, great-great, their children, great-great-great-grandfather.
that sound like a crap game.
Huh?
It's on. It's on. Why ain't on? It ain't on.
Okay. Yeah, it is.
Get the camera? I mean, the grave?
I'll get it. Y'all get up there. I'll get you.
Well, I'm waiting for him to get up there. Well,
Well, let's see. We're at the grave site of
it's the grave site of Israel Leonard Pickens. Great-great and great-great-great-grandfather to this group of people. Great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, and great-great-grandfather part of the children.
one generation right here. This is the youngest, the next. Me, and Bug, Mary the next. And then. Okay, what's Mary's last name, Bucket?
Back here.
Yeah, everybody say the name.
All right. It's starting right here. This is Lauren Trotter, Laney Trotter, Jane Marie Trotter, Oakley Trotter.
Okay, wait. Whose children are those? Lauren?
This is the daughter. This is my daughter. This is my daughter. And this is my son. My name is Gary Ray Trotter.
Okay.
And this is my brother Greg. And this is his daughter Lauren. And his son Will.
Okay.
And we're all, and this is my sister Faye. And this is her son, Andy.
Andrew.
We're all descendants of Francis Trotter.
And Richard's missing out of the picture.
Richard's not here, he's at the call. That's Faye Gremion.
Okay, and then
This is my oldest brother, second oldest brother Bug. And
William.
This group is all
What's Bugs' name?
Trotter.
William.
57.
William Trotter.
This next month.
We're all descendants of FM.
Okay,
William Trotter, which
and you got Francis Trotter, Chester Mathers, and Lee Trotter, and
Hazel Trotter.
Hazel Trotter,
And Mary.
and then Mary.
So all of
Mary
this
is Lee's daughter.
This bunch right here is Francis Trotter. Mary is Lee and Miss Hazel Trotter.
Okay.
And Mr. Chester Mathers is, and Daddy, Mr. Chester, Mr. Lee, and Francis Trotter are all first cousins.
Okay.
Mary's last name is Nagurney.
Okay. All right. All right. Now, this is the Pickens
Israel Leonidas Pickens.
Pickens tombstone, and then right over here.
He is the great grandfather of Mr. Lee. You got it on?
Yeah, I got it on. I just want to.
Grandfather Mr. Lee, Mr. Chester, and Francis.
I just want to back up so I can get these other stones in the.
Great grandfather of the next generation, and of the little ones, he's a great grandfather. Right?
Okay. Now, what about these stones over here on your left bucket?
This is Alexander Trotter, which is the grandfather to Francis Trotter, and will be the
Also, they're
uncle of. No, they're all. The grandfather. This is the grandfather. That's the great grandfather.
okay of all three of these men.
Of all three great grandfather.
And this is.
The great grandmother.
And what's her name?
Matilda.
Matilda Pickens.
Matilda Pickens Trotter.
Matilda Pickens Trotter. We had a reunion in Alexandria back in 82 or 83, and it was descendants starting at this point.
Okay.
So that's the oldest right over here. That's
And
the
that's
great
Matilda's father, right?
Ma'am?
That's Matilda Pickens Trotter's father.
Right. Yes, ma'am. That's the oldest tombstone right there. As far as what right here.
You get the story of the Hicks.
Mr. Chester, Mr. Lee.
Can you give us a hit?
I expect Chess probably knows them better than I because I wasn't around.
This is Philip Trotter. You ought to come over. Philip Trotter Hicks, the daughter of Alexander Trotter and Matilda Pickens Trotter. Husband, William W. Hicks, had 3 children. William Trotter Hicks, Mary Matilda Hicks, and Alexander Thomas Hicks. These are the parents of the 3 Hicks children, Hicks cousins.
Okay.
Hicks then, or the grandkids of, let's see, Matilda would be the granddaughter of Israel Pickens. Yes. Same as my mother and his father. Then we wouldn't take up so much time mumbling and fumbling around.
How old you figure this graveyard is?
Well, it must have been started somewhere around 1850.
That's my parents.
Oh, before then, wasn't it?
I think